Welcome back, everyone. Today, Alex and I are discussing what to do when your recruiting campaign disrupts a candidate pool but doesn't yield the results you were hoping for. Alex, can you start by elaborating on what you mean by disrupting a candidate pool?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about candidate pools. So candidate pools are the total set of available candidates for a particular role based on whatever criteria you set out. And what I mean by disrupting them is essentially you've done a direct marketing campaign to them. You've cold called them, you've emailed them, you've advertised the job. And for whatever reason, the candidate with the qualifications that you need to hire whatever you're looking for, that person didn't pop up, or maybe you found out that your offer wasn't sufficiently attractive for that candidate pool. So for whatever reason, your recruiting efforts weren't successful in achieving the outcome that you were looking for. So that's what I mean by disrupting a candidate pool.
Got it. So essentially, you've reached out your candidate pool through various channels, but it didn't result in finding the right candidate or creating enough interest. What should businesses do next? How do they recover and adjust their strategy after such a disruption?
So I think the first thing to do is to recognize that even thinking about it is a massive win for your business because it puts you in a strategic opportunity to make a change. Think about it as a strategic retreat. Like the opportunity is we may have lost the battle, but we're going to win the war. So how do we win the war? One of the things that we can do is we can take our campaign and we can take it to another battlefield or another candidate pool. So going along with my mixed metaphors, the idea is you might say, we reached out to this one particular candidate pool. Let's change up the qualifications that we're looking for such that we yield a different candidate pool that we can market to. So one example, you can imagine a role that might require a license or some kind of certification. So maybe we're looking for accountants that have CPAs or engineers that have a professional engineering license. The idea there, we set our candidate pool as being people that are at one location with this license. Now, the way that we can adjust the candidate pool might be to change the location that we're looking at. So perhaps we initially looked at within 20 minutes of drive of the office. One way we can change the pool would be to expand the driving distance or to look in an entirely different market where maybe you have another office or maybe you have a client presence or maybe there's just a greater number of the candidates that you're looking for are located. Another option might be to, instead of look for people that are advertising as having that particular license, you might look for people that have the sufficient years of experience that would be qualified for the license. And there's a chance that either they aren't advertising actively that they have that license, or they might be in the process of obtaining that license. So you might not get somebody that has the active license today, but might have it in the next 6 months to a year, for example.
That's a fantastic example, Alex. So by adjusting factors like location or specific qualifications like a license, businesses can effectively pivot and tap into a new candidate pool that might be more fruitful. It sounds like flexibility and willingness to adapt are key in these scenarios. Would you say that's a critical mindset for HR leaders and business owners to have when facing these challenges?
Oh, certainly. I think that flexibility and adaptability are what have enabled us to survive and thrive, not just in business, but in our lives and what allowed our ancestors to survive and thrive. It's core to the ability to be successful, especially in today's market where competition is so fierce that the best companies are the ones that are doing the best at adapting to ever-changing market forces.
Absolutely, Alex. Flexibility and adaptability have always been crucial, and in today's competitive market, they're more important than ever. So, to sum it up, when a recruiting campaign disrupts a candidate pool without yielding desired results, the key steps are to recognize the strategic opportunity, reassess and adapt your approach, and remain flexible. Any final thoughts before we wrap up this episode?
No, I think that's great. Thanks, man.
Great. Thanks, Alex. And thank you to our listeners. We hope you found this discussion helpful. Until next time, keep adapting and stay positive.